Hello everybody, Elite Drumman here. Guys, this episode was so insane, so crazy. This was definitely one of Boom's best work thus so far. I'm really hyped to see what episode 73 is going to be like, or even the parts, I mean. I don't know if he's going to make it a full episode or not. Anyways, you guys, we have an a lot to talk about in this video. There was so much stuff, so many new things, a lot of cool things, a lot of old characters coming back, as Boom usually does. And overall, this episode was absolutely insane. We got to see G-Man fighting with the Astro Toilet, and we even got to see a new character who is an Astro Toilet, but kind of reminds me of Verlance, if I'm being honest. But anyways, you guys, let's get into this video. It was absolutely insane, absolutely crazy, with a lot of new characters, like I said. Anyways, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, clap that like button like I clap Elite Drumman. And without further ado, you guys, let's get into this video. And like I said, this will be one of my longest episodes, considering the fact of how many new things we saw and a lot we need to talk about. So this episode first starts off with us remembering the passing of the plunger cameraman, as we can see the scientist cameraman as he watches it from his own tablet inside of his mech, as he gets angry about his death and punches his mech, obviously. As this is going on, we can see how everyone's under attack, especially the cameraman below the scientist cameraman, as they're all running for their dear life. We can see someone that we haven't seen for a good while. We can see the brand new and improved police Skibidi toilet. But before we could attack him fully, we get jump attacked by another Skibidi toilet, but the scientist took him down like he was just utter rash garbage. This man really OP for normal Skibidi toilets. As two more of these toilets try to attack this man, he takes one down with his lasers and he kills the other with his blade. But this one has a buzzsaw, so it ended up actually killing his tablet, or rather breaking it. And we can also notice that now definitely these are robots or some sort of otherworldly, it's basically not an alive creature, because this man took a stab directly to the brain and got up like nothing happened, like a light scratch just touched him. So whatever they are, they're definitely not a living, or at least a fully living creature. They're more like a cyborg, if you ask me. As another one of these Skibidi toilet mutants tries to get my boy from behind, he obviously shoots them with absolute ease. As more of these Skibidi toilets try to take this man on, the police Skibidi toilet mutant comes in like a total badass with the scythe that Death kind of has in the new Puss in Boots movie. As this man just scythes these two cameramans in half, he ends up shooting at us, and we shoot back, obviously. But this man's shield is too powerful, even for our new guns, which we're starting to see these guns more and more often. They're kind of like the Titan Speaker Man's core laser, as we try to protect ourselves with our mech hand. Now, this doesn't actually end up looking like our actual hand, because if you remember in the beginning of the video, we had normal cameraman hands. These could just be extra add-ons, but if you look real closely, you will be able to see how this one was a little higher up, and we can see almost instantaneously how the real cameraman hands appear right after this. But as this police scythe, whatever you want to call it, Skibidi toilet ends up scything mech cameraman's, mech, we see someone who we haven't even seen since like the early days, the golden age of the Skibidi toilet era. We see the freaking Skibidi toilet Strider coming in, all built up and jacked up like a Giga Chad, as this man just takes down the police Skibidi toilet with absolute ease, making it look like the scientist cameraman had no dirt on him. This man really said, "No, I'm number one." As this man just took down this police Skibidi toilet mutant with absolute ease, this man gets shot by yet again another Skibidi toilet, since this is obviously a warfield. There's this ugly, crusty man who we haven't seen for quite a while either, as he ends up shooting nukes at the at the camera Strider. As we think he's already dead, newly coming into the series, absolute fine and Giga Chad up. Nope, he just gets destroyed. Or so you thought. This man really said, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Summons a freaking beam of cameraman electricity. This man literally said, like, the aw pipe sound, as he gets destroyed like a little bit of Legos. This man, like, had no dirt on this guy. The Scientist Strider nods his head as we give him a thumbs up, but we can also notice how this arm on the left actually has the mech part of the Scientist Cameraman's hand. Now, I do think that this is an add-on, of course, as we just saw. As we go to finish the Skibidi Toilet Police Mutant, whatever you want to call it, we use a toilet paper grenade to kill another Skibidi Toilet. We pick up the scythe of the police Skibidi Toilet as he gives us one last finger as he looks to his left and he laughs maniacally as G-Man comes in like a total badass as he gives us a wink up as he looks at us, and he actually gets us this time. And as we finally fall to the ground, the G-Man, of course, is looking around at everyone. This man takes a full-on fire beam from the camera strider to the face with no remorse. This man didn't have an ounce of mercy when facing the Skibidi. This man didn't have an ounce, not even an ounce of mercy when trying to face the Skibidi Toilet G-Man, and G-Man didn't hold back either, killing the camera strider almost instantly. Now, he used 3 lasers. This man really had to, abuse this man with 3 lasers. He couldn't just kill him with 1. He had to make sure he was dead. He wasn't taking his chances with this little puny guy that he could easily kill, obviously. Little harsh, but, alright, whatever. As we look down, we see that the mech is about to explode from the damage that the police toilet did to it. As it finally explodes, we look at G-Man as he turns around, and we can even see all of these Skibidi Toilets coming around, going obviously to somewhere. I'm not quite sure where, but obviously it's a new Skibidi Toilet base. Now, if you listen real closely, you can literally hear a Michael Jackson hee-hee. I am not kidding you. There is a literal Michael Jackson hee-hee, as you can even see him literally flying across the screen right there in this moment. If you don't believe me, I need you to take a listen. I want you to listen real closely. Now, even though it's not very loud, you can definitely hear a hee-hee, hee-hee 4 times in a row. This man just really hee-heed on the G-Man leader. As we can see one of the engineer toilets telling G-Man that we need to go somewhere. This poor toilet gets killed for absolutely no reason, and of course the G-Man says something in the Skibidi Toilet language that we obviously don't understand. But as he ends up flying away, we see the legendary fight between the Astro Toilet and the G-Man. Now, as we can see, the G-Man and the Astro Toilet are definitely not in alliance, as I originally thought. That is definitely wrong of me. This Astro Toilet said, "You know the penalty for betrayal, leader," or something like that. As this Astro Toilet ends up saying, "You know the penalty for justice, Commander," meaning the Astro Toilets definitely were working under the G-Man, and he says, "No one escapes justice," meaning I'm not quite sure whether or not the Astro Toilets are on the side of the Skibidi Toilets or the Alliance. I think they're on their own alliance, as G-Man readies all freaking 7 of this man's lasers to fight with every last power he's gonna need. This man is old and rusty and musty crusty. He shoots every last ounce of his energy at this Astro Toilet. But of course, as we know, the Astro Toilets are OP, and he just splits his beams in half, absorbs all of the energy, and redirects it all towards G-Man at full power. But of course, G-Man has his shield, as we all know. As the Astro Toilet ends up realizing this, he realizes, hey, free food, or rather for the tentacles of his body, rather. As he ends up shooting out these tentacles that can actually suck up the energy of the G-Man shield, as he ends up pulling away, the Astro Toilet still gets energy from it and ends up using this against him. Finally, G-Man goes into serious mode, and this man went full rage mode as these two monsters absolutely clashed with each other with their lasers, meeting in the middle for a giant collision of their lasers. One having 3, the other having 7. Now, while you think this would be an easy match, no. This Astro Toilet legit just pushed all of G-Man's energy back as he was about to actually take down G-Man with this move. We can see how G-Man planned this out. This man actually came in clutch with his smarts this time, for once not being a chicken and running away. This man thought out to bring literal helicopter TNT Skibidi toilet planes into this battle we haven't seen for quite a while, I might add, as he finally gets fed up with this BS, and he knows it's a trap, I'm pretty sure of this. He summons all the last bit of energy, pushes it towards G-Man, hoping it'll knock him back for a couple seconds, but no, G-Man got to this, and he used all these Skibidi toilet planes as a distraction. As he finally kills off these Skibidi toilets, he turns around, but no, this man really got him in the head. Because as he comes back up, we can see how he's injured in his head. And of course, he says, "No more games." As the G-Man gets ready to strike again with all of his lasers, this freaking Astro Toilet has the nerve to punch G-Man in the head, not once, not twice, but literally 3 times, just ripping off all of his lasers. He rips off his mask, but no, G-Man wasn't ready to give up quite yet, as he puts on his Chad glasses, and as the Astro Toilet is about to kill G-Man, this man uses the baby scream. This man legit brought out the baby scream to get the Astro Toilet off him. As he is still screaming like a baby, this man uses all of his energy trying to damage the Astro Toilet. Now, of course, this is something that happened in a fan-made video. I'll cover that in some other video, as this is exactly what he predicted, and Boom used it almost to a T. As we can see how the Astro Toilet is so fast, G-Man can't quite see it, and he's hitting him at light speed 2 times in a row. He finally uses the shield, and the Astro Toilet gets hit yet again with the beam. Now, as we think the Astro Toilet finally ran away, no, you thought, as he comes up from behind G-Man and is about to kill G-Man, of course, but G-Man is too smart. It's almost like this man got eyes in the back of his head. He turns around and legit gets a headshot, rather a face shot on this Astro Toilet. And as he does this, of course, he uses the lasers again, but the Astro Toilet uses the same signature move and steals the energy this time. As he does this, he redirects all the energy towards G-Man. Now, I'm not saying that G-Man is smarter than the scientist, but this play was absolutely 200 IQ worthy. So as the Astro Toilet ends up saying, "Give up, it's over for you," meaning he thinks he's really gonna win against G-Man. This man had a freaking 200 IQ play up his sleeves, or rather, toilet. As he brings out one of his beams and controls it to go towards the Astro Toilet to try and get it. He says, is that all you got? Pathetic. And throws it right back at G-Man. And as you can see, this actually damaged his right eye pretty badly. Now he brings out 2 of his energy balls, although these ones are different. They have the same purple energy, just like the Titan TV Man's. Now as these 2 are different and go towards the Astro Toilet, he ends up saying, "Pathetic." And as this ends up happening, well, let's just say those energy balls weren't any ordinary balls. If you get my drift. He actually ends up, these energy balls, or orbs rather, end up getting inside of this man's electricity, and we can see the shocked face of the Astro Toilet like, "Well, damn, I didn't expect this," as his arms start turning on him, all but the 3rd one, and they start trying to literally rip his head off. And G-Man's just there laughing maniacally. This man really got the goofy-ass laughing face with his big-ass nose. As he ends up trying to stab himself, the 3rd arm ends up cutting off 1 arm in time, but he wasn't able to catch the the left arm in time, and he ends up getting stabbed, and he ends up losing that arm as well. Now, as he ends up getting stabbed, he comes back up. Somehow, he is still alive after that, meaning this guy also ain't, alive, really. Now, as he's barely able to come back up, G-Man just bullies this guy even more, laughing, knowing he's definitely gonna win, and summons all of his last energy to, obviously try and kill him off. But then we see freaking Verlance coming in and saving this ugly-ass man with his dope-ass shield. This is actually the coolest Skibidi toilet, I gotta admit. It's the coolest one we've ever seen thus so far. Literally, bro, it's just red Verlance. As he shoots one of these energy beams towards G-Man, we can end up seeing how this actually ends up affecting G-Man and probably ends up taking him over at some point in the series. As this Speaker Man actually ends up coming in, and we can see how he avoids the beam, obviously because of how slow it was, but that's where he wasn't expecting it to be so powerful. That blast quite literally sent him flying, but not upwards, down to the ground. it was more like a gravity beam, as he ends up grabbing the Astro Toilet Commander, is what I'm gonna call him, and they both run away. The Titan Speaker Man directs literally every ounce of his rage towards G-Man, and rightfully so. This man went through so much trauma because of this guy, as we can finally see how the Titan TV Man comes in and says, "You're not getting away this time." And as the G-Man ends up trying to run off, he ends up closing his eyes because of the red TV beam, knowing that it'll definitely kill him if he looks at it. As the Titan TV Man ends up swinging his sword, the G-Man obviously runs off like a little baby. As this ends up happening, he ends up saying, the Titan Speaker Man runs off to G-Man to try and catch up with him. We end up seeing how the Titan TV Man in reverse, how he says he's not going to get away this time. It ends now. And we finally hear something that I didn't even ever think would be possible. We know that Titan TV Man can talk and the TV Man race can talk. But as this ends up happening, we see the Titan Cameraman rip off his acid arm and pick up the Astro Toilet arm, which will give him a huge advantage in the fight between G-Man. As we can see, this arm actually has so much mechanical stuff in it. It is actually one of the most genius things ever. And as the Titan Cameraman picks up his arm, we end up seeing for the first time ever, the Titan Cameraman says, "For Plunger." Now, this was obviously one of the biggest reveals in Skibidi Toilet history. It was bigger than anything we've ever seen thus so far. It was bigger than ever seeing the Secret Agent. It was very sad to see the Plunderman die, but still, this was more shocking than any of those. As we can see how he finally flies off to G-Man to try and obviously confront him. As we can see, the Titan TV Man obviously disappears off screen. We can see how excuse me, I am sorry. We can see how these TV men, I am sorry, I'm having a stuttering problem today. We can see how these TV men scientists and the large damage TV man come in, and in reverse, they end up saying, how in the first part, technically the last part, we can see how the large TV man says, "Get this bitch to the lab." And we can see how the scientist TV man says, this shit is knocking our Titan squad. And the large TV man says, "Confidential" at the end of this. Now, this was actually real interesting to see how they're taking for the first time ever, we can see how they're taking technology from the Skibidi toilets instead of the other way around, you guys. This is really interesting to see. And one of the other things that we were able to notice was that not only did we see those two men come back and get some technology for the first time ever from the Skibidi toilets, we actually see how the Strider toilet somehow survived G-Man attack, and this was actually real interesting to see, considering the fact that G-Man used 3 of his lasers, and these aren't any ordinary lasers. These things were able to tank Titans, and the Astro Toilet, which is really crazy. And the fact that he's still alive after this is still insane. But anyways, thank you so much, you guys, for watching my video. I really enjoy making videos for you guys. And if you want to see more of my videos, go to my channel, Elite Drill Man. Consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, clap that like button like I clap Elite Drill Woman. Guys, I had a lot of fun analyzing this video. I'm sorry that I've been stuttering a lot lately. It's just that I lost a couple teeth. I'm sorry about that. I lost a tooth. Sorry. That's my fault. But anyways, I hope you like my video. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, clap that like button like I clap Elite Drill Woman. And guys, without further ado, Elite Drill Man out. Peace.